only hold you. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture. You got the picture me. Pacific ice, I'm an ocean. Ready for war like I'm Russian. Ladies should never the luggage. My diamonds, they tussling. My neck and my belly. They calling for me and they. You want me like me and I look. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. B-Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around. Yeah. Whole squad. Yeah. Squad goes on me. Yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the chosen. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth. Man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to...
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between our visitors and the Denver Broncos. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback.
Now let's go! Blue Lightning!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gain of 31 on third down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
He's going to go for a big play. Man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Deshaun Hamilton hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Yeah, and he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. fighting his way through contact. High throw, but the catch is made. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go.
They're going to look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Back to throw here. Forced out to his left. And they'll get this down to the 10. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it second and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll set up to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Titans getting set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board.
First down.
So on the big tight end, Holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without Holding.
Now back to throw. Open man right side is St. Brown. And he's able to get up here to the 26. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 catches, up over 130 yards, and a touchdown. Looking to throw.
3rd in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong number. That means he's being consistent each and every time out.
Tight coverage that time by Miles Killebrew. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the feet, into a double team, and it's intercepted. Miles Killebrew with a pick, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll run it here. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Set! Green 19!
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Escapes the defender. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver,
All right, here we go.
if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Here we go!
Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground. It brings up 3rd. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90!
They'll set up a throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down. As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Broncos on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
3-19.
He'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll drop to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Take it at the 37. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there at 22. This quarterback now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's first and 10. He'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Deshaun Hamilton with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Back to throw. He's going to fire one deep over. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. It's up a nice second down for them.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be...
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He hits his target, left side, Watson. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Wadley. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They run again with Wadley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 1st down, Titans, gain of 12. Took till the 2nd half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Pass incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Equanimous St. Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They'd love to just strike back, and if it's a long play,